PB2X rocks today with some paint-spraying semi-pros, a feisty femme fatale, and a defiant debut from the Timmy Troops. So take a break with the Super 7 as NPPL plays hard on Paintball 2 Extremes. Yo ho, a paintball life for me. Mateys. Hey everybody, welcome to our new and improved Paintball 2 Extremes on OLN. You remember me, right? I'm James Bates, and you paintball fans asked and we answered. No more getting up at early 30 on a Saturday morning to catch your favorite show. Nope, we've got this plush afternoon schedule now here on OLN, and we've got extra re-airing. So if that paintball game runs a little long, or if that VCR keeps blinking 12, we still got you covered with all the goods from the world's fastest growing rec sport. And while you all miss me so much that it hurts, I know you really miss my co-host Jen Pierce. And she's somewhere here on the grounds of the NPPL Super 7 in Tampa. Hey Jen, where are you at? I hope she's ready for round 2. What you got?
James, if the rest of this year is as good as the start, we are in for one wild ride. On today's show, we're going to focus our attention on the newly created NPPL Semi-Pro Division. Today, we'll find out which squad can turn the trick here in Tampa, and we'll also have some new items on our PB2X menu. But enough of us talking. James, let's get cranking.
Sounds like a feature-filled season, doesn't it? Well, it is. And since this is the first time out the gate for us in 2005, what do you say we take a quick peek at what's been brewing in the off-season? The big news as the year gets up to speed is the NPPL's attempts to curtail illegal markers.
Fully automatic, semi-automatic. That's the big controversy, is fully automatic safe. According to the ASTM standards, they're not safe.
To combat illegal equipment, NPPL uses radar guns, chronographs, and a robot that is highly accurate.
Snatch the gun from the player, we take it to the robot, we put it on there. If you pull the trigger, let's say 4 shots, and 10 balls come out, that's an illegal marker.
The turnout of teams entering the Tampa Super 7 was intense.
We're now having to sanction feeder events to qualify to get into this event. We maxed out here at 200 teams. We had 40 teams on the waiting list.
So yeah, that's great, but you guys don't just want 200 teams, rules, and technology, do you? You want churros. You want churros? Ah, shoot. We're all out of churros. We just ran out. But we've got lemonade, and we got some paint flying, too. And Jen's going to catch up on a couple teams that are right in the squeeze of things in the semi-pro division here at the Super 7.
In some instances, semi-pro is just a name. Take Famous, for example, and just add the letters I and N to the front, and you have the farm team of a top pro squad.
The same caliber of players. These guys are just younger. The other guys have been around for a while. Same group of guys, really.
But for other semi-pro teams, such as Team Distortion from the New England area, the path to the next level is not as clear.
I would say it's going to take, another 1, 2, possibly even 3 years, for everyone to get together. Everybody's got their own style of play, and we got a core of like 4 players from last year, which has their, last year's style of play. And we got a lot of fresh guys, new corner, some guys that are really out there, some guys that play X-ball, so they're really aggressive players, and it all meshes really well.
Distortion started the season with a 3rd place at the Super 7 in Huntington Beach, and they hope that more of that sort of play may help them be selected as one of the 3 teams that will be invited to join the pro ranks at the end of the season.
Like us to go pro this year, but it's the top 3 semi-pro teams, and this is a very competitive division. I'd like to see us top 5 this year, and then from there, who knows?
Another semi-pro team that has a great resume is Justice, the 2004 Division I champions at the World Cup.
We figured the transition to semi-pro would be somewhat difficult, but we seem to be able to be, seamless transition from semi-pro to Division I to semi-pro.
The level of competition at Tampa has proven pretty extreme, as both Distortion and Justice landed just outside the Elite 8. And after today's quarterfinals, here are the 4 teams we will be showing in action in today's show.
So how's this for proof of parity and close competition here in the semi-pro division of the Super 7? 6 of the 8 teams were within 20 points of each other after 8 rounds. And when we come back, we'll cue up some game action for you, and I'll go toe-to-toe with a paintball superstar in a battle of rapid-fire response. So don't you dare move a muscle. No, not you. You guys. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball to Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball to Extremes is brought to you by Empire, innovation, dedication, domination. By Bob Long, creator of the legendary Intimidator and Defiant markers. And by Paintball to Extremes, covering the game.
Welcome back, my PB2X dogs. What's that, girl? You've got questions, I've got questions, we've all got questions, and you're gonna like this. This year, we've got a new segment called Riddle Me This, where the pros answer some tough questions. Here's our first one right out the gate, right? Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Isn't that right?
Greg Pearson asks, what is the right way to aggressively work the snake? Good question, Greg. When working the snake, off the break, you want to make sure that you run with your head down and your gun behind you. Go as fast as you can, so right before you get to the snake, then you dive in head first. Bring your head up so you can look into the center of the field. Right when you get in, you want to put your gun down the sidelines, shoot in your mirror, then go all the way to the 50. Once you get to the 50 or the center of the field, stop and look into the middle or crossfield shots. Those will be your easiest kills. After you shoot those guys, you want to put your gun back down the sidelines, shoot in your mirror once again, and go all the way to the other side of the field.
I didn't know that, and I bet old Casper didn't know that either. Well, earlier in the show, I profiled 2 of the semi-pro teams who came up just a little short here at the Tampa Super 7, almost as short as this guy. But now let's go to the boys in the booth with the call from one of today's final round battles.
Oh yeah, thank you, Jen. Ironman on the left. And on the right for this semi-pro action, it's Famous. And on my side, my man Ryan Gray from Diablo Storm. What do you say we get this going semi-pro style here in Tampa?
The Ironmen have been super consistent since their win in Huntington Beach, winning all of their preliminary round games here in Tampa. They're just overpowering teams with paint.
And thus leading to a #1 seed coming into this big Sunday morning. How about a few bonus balls? 1, 2, 3, one to the hip and one to the head. And now Famous moves up.
Brown taking one of the most important bunkers on the field. In between him and his mirror, there's a Dorito, which is probably the most important bunker next to the snake on the field.
There you saw in the middle of the field for the Ironmen was Casey Field right behind that pop can.
Both of the teams trying to slow it up a little bit now. The way things work in the MPPL, you have preliminary rounds where every team plays 8 games. So there were 21 semi-pro teams. They took 8 of them to the quarterfinals, okay? In the quarterfinals, they're going to play a best-of-3. That's what you're seeing right now. So both of the teams, neither one of them want to get shot doing anything stupid. It's all about wins and losses. There's no points involved.
Quite a few wins for Famous, as we told you that the Ironmen were ranked #1 coming in today. Famous, #5, and down goes Brown. So Famous slowly getting picked away by the guys in red on the left.
Posey holding down the back. Gator Glaze just took one into the pack.
Checks himself, and the referee does, sends him out. So there's Cody Height. Somebody call 911 for him because they're dropping like flies, Ryan.
Yeah, Brett the Threat Cohen getting shot.
And there goes Height.
The Ironmen, you have so much age in these guys as far as paintball years. Most of these guys have been playing together or at least around each other for the last 10, 11 years.
And they'll take this flag here. So the Ironmen continue to do what they've done all weekend here at the Tampa Super 7, the NPPL-sponsored event. A lot of fun, great weather, and we'll have more semi-pro action later in the show.
One of the most exciting moments in a paintball game is when each team is down to a single player. This one-on-one battle can be both nerve-wracking and exciting, kind of like what you get when James sits down with one of today's superstars in his line of fire.
Why are the Femmes great paintball?
Because we've been around for so long. We still want to earn the respect of our peers.
Who is the coolest male paintball player in the world?
Of course, my husband, Todd Adamson.
Who do you like to beat the most out there on the paintball field?
Todd.
Favorite color paint?
The yellow staining stuff.
Your favorite movie?
I don't go to movie theaters, so I don't see movies that much. They're really dirty. I have a dirty phobia.
Girls or guys, better paintballers?
Guys.
Really? You were in the pageants, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I don't want my daughter to do them. I don't get along with women that well to begin with, and why I have an all-women team, I don't know. I get along with men much better. But women are catty, and it's bad. I don't like it. And they, you know, especially in like the Miss America system, if I was a ballet dancer, so when I toe tapped, they would put like stuff in my toe, you know, my toe shoes, like glass and stuff. You think quarter in your hopper is bad? No, it's not.
Thanks, Tam.
You're so welcome.
Hey, stay right there because when PB2X pops back, we'll have more Super 7 semi-pros and 60 seconds of the latest from the bad, bad, bad Bob Long. More PB2X in a moment.
If you want to stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball to Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
Hey there, welcome back to Paintball to Extremes. Having a good time in the PMI tent. A good time because it's a little bit cooler in here. Got the fans blowing and we're braving the heat outside, but we're in the shade right now. You know, if I had $1 for every time somebody came up to me at these events and said, hey, what's the latest and greatest in Garrett James? I really would like to know. Well, I'd be Chris Lasoya by now. And my hair would be way down, nice ponytail in the back, but I don't have that. But you know what I do have? I got all my buddies lined up for the 1-minute review to break it down for you.
This is the new Defiant. It's a mid-range marker that I just came out with. It's a tournament-ready gun, and it's got all the bells and whistles, but you can add on some new stuff. Okay, this is the new barrel. It's an assassin barrel, micro hone, 689 thousandths, very, very accurate, 12 inches. We put a non-clamping type feed neck. This allows the consumer to put a clamping type feed neck. It's not an expensive add-on you can add to it. Same laser eyes that we use on the Intimidator, fast as you can have. Complete lasers, work perfect. Quick release pin, Delron bolt, lightweight hammer, all for speed. It's got the ramping mode, the fast semi, everything in the board. It's a mid-range gun. It has a lot of bells and whistles on it. It's capable to play any tournament. We got guns shooting 20 balls a second, just as fast as the fastest Timmys and the fastest Matrixes made. All I did was make it reasonable, made it faster, made it lighter, made it smaller. It's for those front guys. It's really a trick gun. You got to try one.
What a perfect place this is for a big-time tournament like the NPPL Super 7. An NFL stadium is the backdrop, fabulous Florida weather, and a full-capacity crowd of crazy paintball maniacs. And what better way to handle the Super 7 scene than with some of the smoking semi-pros? The boys in the booth got the handle on the action.
Thanks, Jen. Now that's strange. Seriously, that's strange. Team Strange on the left, and on the right, it's Team Shockwave. Now we've got an interesting matchup here in the semi-pro level. Shockwave has won one, and so is Strange. So it's winner take all, and winner moves on. Let's get it on.
Strange taking a pretty aggressive breakout this game. And Shockwave Canada not aggressive at all, taking the first 7 bunkers on the field, trying to play it slow.
Playing it slow with 2 guest stars, if you will. Dave Thomas guesting from Trauma, and his teammate with Trauma, Tyler Humphreys. He's up there at the top for Shockwave. And as we scan the Strange side of things, now the first game, these two took almost 5 minutes. That's quite a bit of time here.
As I said before, with the wins and the losses, nobody really cares about points. They just don't want to get shot out making dumb moves.
There's Tyler Humphreys making a strong move behind the Dorito.
Both teams locking up the lanes, talking a lot.
You've got guys guesting, Ryan. Does that create any kind of confusion, or is it pretty much you know the field and you know the sport well enough to go out and just play?
I think for those guys, the Shockwave guys kind of came up underneath Trauma, Dave and Rob Stodinger. So it's not really guessing. They play together a lot.
Well, coming up that snake, as you see there on the right side, is Team Strange. Advantage Team Strange right now, as we saw a Shockwave player go out. And a big run through.
Now that's definitely going to make a big advantage to Strange. With their guy in the snake and the Shockwave guys shot out of the roller, it's going to make a big difference in the way the game plays out.
So you take that 1-for-1, a little bit of arguing going on, but there goes the band nonetheless, and 2 guys going back to the box.
Yeah, Tyler thinks he definitely shot him before he got there.
Well, if not, there's a bonus ball for him.
A few, yeah. Strange guys definitely starting to come down that snake now. Starting to do some damage. You're watching a few of the Shockwave guys who take the walk there.
Well, which one is going to take the walk and take on the Iron Men? We saw an earlier action. Iron Men taking out Team Famous, and they're waiting on the winner of this one.
Team Strange has always made a name for themselves with control. They played very, very slow, methodical style of paintball. They were kind of the first team to bring up the very slow, control, lock up the shooting lane styles.
Well, they've got this field here in Tampa on lockdown right now. 1 man standing for Shockwave, and ooh, look at this move. He's gone. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why that player made that choice. That was pretty odd. So, this flag grab there, that gives Strange the win. Strange will go on to meet with the Iron Men in best-of-3 finals matchup here in Tampa. And we will have coverage of the final game later in the show.
Isn't it good to be back out on the paintball fields? It was a nice little break, too, I gotta admit, but it's good to be back in the action. You know some guys and girls that never, ever rest? They just keep going? The people that put together Paintball 2 Extremes, the magazine. The September magazine is chock full of PSP Chicago Open coverage, along with scenario games from Gettysburg and a tech article on Vantage goggles. Pick one up today.
If you want to stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball to Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball to Extremes is brought to you by National Paintball Supply, #1 supplier to the #1 extreme sport. By Diablo, play with fire. And by Paintball to Extremes, covering the game.
Look out. Back at you here on Paintball 2 Extremes. Having a good time here in Tampa. Every stop we have a good time, all these NPPL events. The atmosphere here is so much fun. Taking the sport to another level, even rivaling a lot of big-time athletic events.
It's almost like a NASCAR vibe. Really become popular, and the families are getting behind the teams. They're traveling with the teams. People are planning their vacations around our tournaments, so it's really exciting for us.
The NPPL philosophy is to build on that enthusiasm and deliver to the spectators a multifaceted event filled with excitement both on and off the field.
We want to create an environment where people can come, they can have, a soda, a drink, lounge around, go to our vendors village, see all the updated stuff, and then come watch some great games. And as you'll see on the center court, we got the grandstands, we got the VIP areas, and it's all about, the entertainment. That's what we like.
Iron Men, here we go. Their first loss the whole weekend was to these guys. Strange in game 1 of the finals. We're all set for game 2. Iron Men on the left, Strange on the right, and they're breaking out.
Big Iron Man breakout. Lots of guns up, anchored by Todd Adamson.
Wow, and they're moving already to the snake.
Very, very aggressive for the Iron Man. They are not doing what they normally do here.
In the first game we saw them, they didn't really do it against Famous. They took their time, and Strange took down Shockwave, and both of them different styles.
I would have bet this game to go 5.5 minutes with these two teams. Both of them being pretty aggressive. They're both in the snake now, taking a lot of ground into the middle of the field. Eric Roberts, one of the most aggressive players. He's holding back a little bit there for the Iron Men. There goes Todd Adamson.
So Adamson down for the Iron Men.
Casey Fields there in the middle of the field for the Iron Men. Now this being the second game in the win and loss of the best of 3, if the Iron Men win this game, then they'll go to a third game. If the Iron Men lose this game, then Strange take the $10,000 check home.
Little pan of that field there. The middle of the field, the red zone is red. And the whole field's the red zone as both teams are wearing the red jerseys, red and black for both teams. The Iron Men and Strange.
Eric Roberts really upset with himself, made a move, got shot.
This has got to be frustrating for the Iron Men. They don't lose all weekend. Already lost one to Strange, and now they're dropping. There you see one of the Strange players heading back to the box.
Strange has got this game pretty well under control now. It's over. It's over. Strange takes the snake guy out, leaving only one Iron Man in the back.
And with that, Strange will hang this flag after they clean up the field, making one last sweep of it.
Big Captain Paul Alders.
And they've got it, and they've also got $10,000. You think Dave Pastor of Team Strange is fired up? He and his teammates will celebrate this one and take it back to the house. Your champions here at the Super 7 NPPL in Tampa. Iron Men still complaining down to the referees, but that's not going to matter right now. As Team Strange, your semi-pro champs. Hey, Jen, what you got?
Paul, with the Atlanta Strange, you just took the semi-pro champion. How do you feel?
Excellent, excellent. We just moved into the 7-man NPPL format, and we're here to basically make a statement for Strange. We've been on a separate circuit. This is our first showing here, and we had a couple tough rounds in the preliminary section and dominated semifinals, quarterfinals, and finals.
Now, how's that for some Super 7 action from here in Tampa? Oh, no. This Paintball 2 Extremes is done, but next week, we're right back here in Tampa. I got to blow these things back up because we'll have one more look at the pros, the big guns, the top dogs in their tango in Tampa, and a close-up look at the dedicated and dominant Dynasty gang. All that and more in just 7 days, so hopefully I'll have this thing blown up for you guys by then. For Jen Pierce and the rest of the crew here at Paintball 2 Extremes, I'm James Bates. We'll see you then.